Alright, so start off, I'm going to choose my topic to be my 3 favorite Pokemon. Right now.
That's good.
Alright, so in the beginning, my first favorite Pokemon will be Magikarp. For those who don't know who that is, he's a useless golden fish. You can't even eat it, and it costs a lot of money. So break your teeth and try to bite onto it because the skin's so hard. But why I like it? Because it's so useless. Because it shows that something so useless can actually transform into one of the best Pokemon called a Gyarados later on. So I love that. That's my first, useless to great potential. So, it just shows that you can do something great. The second Pokemon I like a lot is Charizard. Why? Because that's everyone's first Pokemon. If you pick Bulbasaur, you're a loser. Squirtle, it's okay. So everyone picks Charmander. Everyone knows that Charmander becomes a giant dragon. Who doesn't like dragons? Too bad he's not dragon type, but still, he counts. Third favorite Pokemon would probably be Mewtwo, because Mewtwo is an overpowered Pokemon, psychic type, no weaknesses in the first generation. You can pretty much destroy everybody, and it's fantastic on any team. You have them, people call you a cheater, and they'll hate you, but it doesn't matter. Scoreboard, you win.
That was an awesome answer. All right. Again, same sort of prompt for the second speaker, 3 of your favorite whatevers, and use the stage, and I'm going to ask Paul.
Ooh. Okay. So when I was thinking about my 3 favorite things, I actually thought about, wow, I like to watch movies or shows, and one of my favorite shows I'm following right now is Once Upon a Time. Now, if you've watched that show, it starts out first in the Enchanted Forest, and you have stories like Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs and Little Red Riding Hood, so all different types of fairy tales. And then suddenly, as the show progresses, it goes over to the Wizard of Oz and the Land of Oz and Alice in Wonderland, so it incorporates all these characters in that story. And then later you're transported, not by a tornado because I should have done that first, to Neverland, where you have the pirates, you have the crocodile, you have the Peter Pan, so it incorporates all these different characters in this show, and I enjoy watching the show. If you've watched it from the beginning, it doesn't adhere strictly to the story, so when my brother hops in and he watches the show, he's all like, okay, that doesn't make sense, why is he the crocodile? I'm like, it doesn't have to make sense, this is a show, and they're building on the basis of the stories, not literal renditions of the story.
Thank you very much. All right. Next person for 3 of your favorite somethings is going to be Mr. Mark Stelner. Sorry for making you move around so much, but
no worries.
We want to make sure you speak a little bit as well.
Thanks, Mark. So my 3 favorite things, I was actually trying to brainstorm some things myself. So I'd have to say my first favorite thing, I think I mentioned it before, I really enjoy water sports, like surfing or swimming, partially because I do pretty well at them, but I don't know, I like being out in the water, and I've always felt like comfortable there, and so I enjoy doing those things. You get a good workout, and it's a lot of fun. I think my second favorite thing that I could think of was some type of food, which would be Italian and more specifically pasta. I don't know why, I've always liked spaghetti, and I don't know if it's, you twirl on your fork and eat it. I don't know, it's always been delicious, and I like it with red sauce, Alfredo, olive oil and garlic, you name it, whatever you want to put into it normally. I'm not too picky, although I should say when I was younger I used to like it plain, I didn't like sauce, so that's kind of weird. Anyway, my third favorite thing that I'm obligated to say is my wife is my favorite. Actually, yeah. Not in that order. No, she's my best friend, and she does so much for me and makes me happy. So those are my 3 favorite things.
All right, I think we'll have time to do one more of these, and someone who has been speaking a lot but not a lot of impromptu stuff is our Toastmaster Sarah, so come on up here.
Alright, my 3 favorite things. I also was thinking of TV because I like to watch a lot of TV. So my 3 favorite shows The Walking Dead. I won't say any spoilers because some people haven't caught up and for whatever reasons, but Walking Dead, I love it. Let's take all the things that keep us together in society and just take it all out. There's no police, there's no readily available food, there's no clean water, and you think that your biggest threat is going to be the walkers, and it's not. It's who's next to you. Can you trust them? Are they going to have your back? Are they going to shoot you when you're slow and have a gimp leg? And then Daryl Dixon, I like him. I like a leading man. So Walking Dead is awesome. I highly recommend watching it. It's in its season right now. My next favorite show would be Game of Thrones. I got into that pretty late, but it was nice because I got to binge watch it. And which is great because I forget who's doing what where. Like the show is so complex and there's so many different characters and then they die and you're like, no, and you think that your favorite character is going to be safe. Jon Snow. Like, you can't kill Jon Snow. Oh, spoiler. He may or may not have died, but that's it's up for debate. Okay, if you read some of the stuff out there, he hasn't cut his hair yet, so I'm sure he's coming back. My third favorite show, I really like sitcom comedies, like when you just want to go and you want to feel comfortable and you want to see your TV friends or whatever. I like The Big Bang Theory. I really like it. I like all the characters. They're pretty. Some of them are relatable, but it seems like they're in their 9th season, but they always have just kind of fun storylines. It's like 22 minutes of my life. Like, sure. Those are my 3 favorite shows.
Oh my god.
So I want to move on to the second skill builder, which is going to be pretty fast.
Okay.
And this is going to be, and I really liked what everyone kind of did with this. I think maybe next time we'll also work on some transitions between the different places, because I like how everyone used the space, kind of made it very obvious, and that's a good thing to keep in the back of your mind. Transitioning between those is sort of the next level of things that maybe we'll work on in the future. So second skill builder is going to be editing for time. So what I want you to think of, and the point of this is that sometimes you'll be doing a prepared speech and you're on your end of your first point and you'll see the green card go up and you're like, oh crap, I need to just punch this out to make sure I get my thoughts in. So you need to be able to think on your feet and be able to squeeze a lot of information into a short amount of time and pick out the pertinent part. So what I want you to think about is your favorite movie, your favorite book, your favorite story of some sort, that you can speak at length about what the characters are like, what the plot is like, what the twists are like, and you're going to have to summarize that movie for us, or that story for us, in 60 seconds. So the timing is going to be green at 30, yellow at 45, and red at 60 seconds. And you're going to have to give us the important pieces, and don't worry if you run over time a little bit or whatever, you miss something. Just try to focus on squeezing the most important aspects of something right into what we're going to begin doing. So favorite movie, book, plot line, whatever, and the first person to start us off is going to be Mr. Kyle Levine. Good luck, sir.
All right. Boy, the one I can think of right now, which is the most important one, is the Lego Movie. And I like that one because it's the relationship between the father and the son, and I have a son. And so that's a really important bond. And the movie is an animated story about, is his name? Will Ferrell's the dad, and got the green light. I can quit right now. But all the characters in the movie, it turns out that the main character is about the son, and then the evil guy is about Will Ferrell, and at the end of the day, the dad realizes that I guess he just needs to spend more time with his son and stop being so hung up over Legos and where they all go in his Lego set. That was a really important message, and I enjoyed that movie a lot.
Maybe I should have made it 30 seconds for you. It seemed like you were trying to stretch there. The opposite of what I wanted to generate. All right, so second person for summarizing a story in 60 seconds is going to be Atia. Since you kind of spoke, but it's pre-recorded.
So my favorite, I'm going to speak about one of my favorite TV shows. Some may find this disputatious and not agree with it, but I like the show Scandal. And why do I like the show Scandal? Because she's supposed to solve all the scandals, but she's like the middle of most of the scandals, especially this season. If anyone is watching it, if you're not, I am going to spoil it. Because, you haven't watched it? Okay. Well, we've seen season after season that she is quite often right in the midst of the scandal, maybe because she perpetuates it, she feeds into it, and so forth. But she is a person who used to work in the White House, and she is the go-to person for very high up people within the government and cities who need help, and she will solve them. Not always in the best way, but she knows how to make people do what she wants to do. I definitely have my things I don't agree with in the show, like, okay, this woman is cheating with the president, and I don't care for it, but I can't help it. I'm scandalous. Thank you.
All right. I don't remember your name. I'm sorry.
Damien.
Damien, would you like to give this a shot?
Sure.
All right. Thanks.
One of my favorite movies is, I know it's kind of corny, Forrest Gump. Life is like a box of chocolate. And I like that movie because it actually went through the entire gamut of some sort of United States history from the 1940-ish to current time. And throughout the whole movie, he portrayed Tom Hanks, the person that portrays Forrest Gump, used some humorous ways to illustrate different time juncture point in our history. But he always go back to that one person, Jenny, and that's what I like the most about that movie. Thank you.
I think we probably have time for one more, so I'm going to have to ask Asher.
Thank you for calling me last, so I had some time to think about it. My favorite book, my favorite novel is one by Henry James. It's called The Bostonians. It was actually very controversial when it was published because it was about a gentleman from the South who came after the Civil War to the North, to Boston, and he ends up fighting with his cousin, Olive Chancellor, who's a suffragist, over this very charismatic woman who speaks. And the suffragist, Olive Chancellor, wants to use her for the suffrage movement, while Basil Ransom is this unreconstructed Southerner who's extremely conservative and traditional and wants to keep her for herself. And so there's this battle over them, even with lesbian overtones in the book, some say. And it's a book that some found very critical of the suffrage movement, and others had different opinions, but it was a very interesting look at a movement that has changed the face of society, but how it was interpreted at that time by prominent novelists. Thank you.
All right.